I have the pleasure of introducing today's commencement speaker, award-winning broadcast journalist, Judy Woodruff. Judy Woodruff is the senior correspondent for the PBS News Hour after serving for 11 years as its anchor and managing editor. In 2023, she launched America at a Crossroads, a reporting project to better understand the country's political divide. She has covered politics and other news for more than 4 decades at CNN, NBC, and PBS. Woodruff is recipient of many awards, including the Peabody Journalistic Integrity Award, the Poynter Medal, an Emmy for Lifetime Achievement, the Radcliffe Medal, and the Larry Foster Award for Integrity in Public Communication from the Arthur W. Page Center here at Penn State in 2021. In 2013, she and the late Gwen Ifill together received the Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism from Arizona State University after they became co-anchors of the PBS News Hour, making them the first female co-anchors of a daily national news broadcast. Woodruff is a founding co-chair of the International Women's Media Foundation, an organization dedicated to promoting and encouraging women in communications industries worldwide. She serves on the boards of trustees of the Freedom Forum and the Duke Endowment. Formerly, she was a trustee of the Carnegie Corporation of New York and the Urban Institute, and a member of the Knight Foundation Commission on Intercollegiate Athletics. Woodruff is a graduate of Duke University, where she's a trustee emerita. She lives in Washington, D.C. with her husband, journalist Al Hunt, and they are the parents of 3 children. She is someone I deeply admire. Welcome, Judy Woodruff.
Thank you, Dean Hardin, to the administrators, to the faculty, to family and friends, and most of all, the Penn State class of 2025. Congratulations! I am thrilled to be with you this afternoon to celebrate. I am so honored to have been asked to be part of commencement at this great university from which both a niece and a nephew of mine graduated, and especially here at Bellisario College, recognized nationally for your outstanding communications curriculum. A huge reason for that reputation is none other than your dean, Marie Hardin. She has been a spectacular leader during her 22 years at this college. I know she will be missed as she goes on to be president of another university, and I want to ask you all to give her a massive thank you. Now, I cover politics, and recent elections have underscored the hazards of predictions. But I will, however, make one forecast today. Next November 1st, Ohio State will get trounced by the Nittany Lions. So I know that all of you graduates represent many different areas of interest: advertising, public relations, public affairs, film production, and much more. Because my background is journalism, and I am so grateful to be still at it, it is from that perspective that I will be speaking to you, and I hope my words have some resonance with all of you. My message this afternoon is threefold. First, to always remember what a great education you received here at Penn State and the Bellisario College. Your professors have shared their knowledge, their enthusiasm in an effort to launch you with the best possible set of tools, critical thinking skills, work ethic, and values that will remain your touchstone. They've done this with the aim that you will continue to learn, to be curious every day for the rest of your lives. Curiosity is, after all, essential not just for journalists, but everyone who works in the field of communications. My advice to you is never stop asking questions. Second, know that you are stepping into a society that needs you. I have spent the last 2 years traveling the country for the PBS News Hour, talking with ordinary Americans, trying to understand and reporting on our current deep political divide. In all the time I've spent as a reporter covering politics, covering Democrats and Republicans, I have never seen Americans as divided as we are today. Not just formerly close friends and neighbors, but families, so much so that many families have a hard time getting together over Thanksgiving dinner. We have focused in our reporting this year on efforts being made to bridge these divides, because until people can work together, can talk together, can find compromise, we cannot tackle the biggest problems in our country. Whether it's economic inequality, lack of access to a good education, immigration, the environment, or any number of other challenges. We have a lot of problems to solve in the United States, and we need your brains, your creativity, your energy, your passion, your ambition, and your help figuring out how to stop demonizing people who disagree with us. You are especially equipped to work on this because you've studied communications. You are already thinking about how people communicate with each other. And you know you enter the field at a time of enormous transition that can be intimidating, off-putting. But I am confident that no matter the turmoil in the communications industry, the disappearance of newspapers, rapidly changing technology, that has us using Facebook one day, posting on Instagram and TikTok the next, a podcast the day after that, and recognizing that it will continue to change, that you will stay on top of those challenges. Your generation is uniquely prepared to roll with it. And it is important that you are, because as the business model changes, as platforms evolve and change, and as we transition from legacy news media that's been carefully fact-checked, edited, and vetted to anything goes, factual or not, the burden will be on you and all who are consuming news, meaning everybody, to figure out what's accurate and what isn't. We cannot solve society's and our nation's toughest problems if we don't agree on the facts. So it falls to you. to figure out how to distinguish real information from misinformation. That's what journalists do, but it is also the job of everyone in the communications field. It's your responsibility to see that the statement your firm, your company, your candidate, you make is accurate, that it doesn't distort or twist the facts. My third and final message today, whatever career path you choose, you must stand up for a free press. You enter the working world at a particularly difficult moment for the American news media. Today, the administration in Washington is attacking the mainstream press, including the revered Associated Press, virtually every day. It is suing broadcast networks. It is trying to abolish public television and radio. It grants access to news organizations that report favorably on what it's doing, and it punishes those that don't. Through more than 50 years of covering American politics, I have never witnessed a moment like this. We can no longer take for granted that when we wake up in the morning, we will have a free press. You may well be called on in the years ahead to face this challenge. Will you stand up for the First Amendment, which guarantees Americans the right to freedom of the press, along with freedom of speech, of religion, of assembly, and of petition? I urge you to stand up for what's right, because we cannot have a democracy, we cannot have a country without a free press, wherein Americans know they can count on finding out what is actually going on in their community, in their state, in the nation, and in the world. The facts, not spin and not misinformation or politically tilted and sifted news. It's a big responsibility I'm laying on your shoulders, but I am confident that you can handle it because of the extraordinary education you have received here at Penn State. For now, it's time to celebrate. Be sure and thank your parents and everybody who made it possible for you to go to school here at this extraordinary Bellisario College of Communications, and know that we are all cheering you on. Congratulations.